Hello and welcome back to the second of 3 success videos. In this video, you'll receive a promised exercise to help you realize the acquisition or gathering of some of the things that you really want in life. After all, one of the best things in life is to live the good life, right? And also, you'll receive the answer to what paralyzing pitfall most people unwittingly struggle with when it comes to realizing any successes in their lives, whatever them successes might be, and what to do about it, so you can conquer and succeed in obtaining your goals and dreams. But first, let me ask you, are you tired of the broken dreams, the heartache of defeat, the constant cycle of highs and lows, the missed opportunities? Would you like to feel more healthy, lose weight, get out of debt, achieve financial independence, or obtain your purpose in life? Do you want more comfort, better relationships, quality time with your family, or get out from under a nowhere job that you can't stand showing up for? If so, then you're in the same boat as at least 85 to 90% of the population. You may say that if this many people are struggling to realize fulfillment, happiness, and financial independence, then isn't that how it's supposed to be? Well, let me be bold and say, absolutely not. There are 5 to 10% with all the wealth and still more with lives of abundance and fulfillment, even if they don't have Bill Gates or Oprah Winfrey's bank account. So the question is, how do they do it? My book and audio Find Your Place by Following Your Passions talks all about this. And after going through these materials, you'll find out that it's not so much the how they do these things, but what drives and motivates these people. What disciplines do they have and exercise upon that most of us are missing? Great questions. So let's find some answers. Let's talk briefly about a trait or character that all successful people have, and a trait that if you don't have, then you must acquire. If you realize and prepare for this, you'll be miles ahead on your journey. So, just what is one of the biggest paralyzing pitfalls that we face when attracting success and happiness into our lives? It's the lack of self-discipline. That's right. Discipline means training expected to produce a specific character or pattern of behavior, especially training that produces moral or mental improvement. Training then would mean organized activity aimed at imparting information and/or instructions to improve the recipient's performance or to help him or her attain a required level of knowledge or skill. Broken down and summed up then, the big pitfall is a lack of moral improvement through specialized knowledge that changes character and morale, information in which to change your performance or behavior. You need to change your way of thinking, and on a consistent basis. Some may know that I'm a freestyle mixed martial artist, and in training of new or old skills, it's vitally important to acquire the skill and then practice that move or moves until it becomes second nature or habit. So the skill is there automatically when needed. The training of the body and the mind requires discipline. With these thoughts then, we know we need to be disciplined when training our mind for success, or very good chances are that we will fail and not get the results that we're after. So with that in mind, let's get into a little exercise to train our mind for success, happiness, and abundance. Here's an exercise that many have written in about and are having difficulty with, that I want to help with, and that is visualization. But first, in preparation, I ask that you please make good this time for yourself and make sure that there are no distractions. Turn off your email and Skype and log out of Facebook for a moment. Find a quiet place. Are you ready? Okay, the first part of this exercise requires that you relax and start to think about some of the things that you want. Our promised exercise is to help you visualize your goals and dreams, which is a big part in manifesting those things or bringing them into reality. Before we get started on our exercise, I need to go off on an important and related tangent. Let me digress for a quick moment. Let's begin by remembering at the beginning of this video when I said not to worry about how the wealthy succeed so much, but to think more why they succeed. What drives and motivates these people, and what disciplines do they have and work on? Why do we want to perform service in exchange for money? Why do we get up in the morning and do what we do every day? Your why can really be defined as your goals. Goals are the golden ticket in life. Having goals, the things that we want to be visualizing, should seem obvious. But when I was in my early 20s and taking a course in sales, my teacher talked about having goals and their importance. Although I recognized them as a worthy concept, I really hadn't yet discovered just how important goals really were. To bring goals into perspective, I'd like to introduce you once again to someone whose name might be familiar, a man named Earl Nightingale. He co-founded Nightingale Conant Corporation, one of the largest self-help publication companies in the world. Mr. Nightingale wrote a speech to his team of salespeople that became a Golden Academy award-winning speech called The Strangest Secret. I'd like to share with you a small portion of that speech about goals. He says, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going, and a man or woman that doesn't fails. It's that simple. Now imagine a ship leaving the harbor, the complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where it's going and how long it'll take. It has a definite goal. Now 9.99 thousand out of 10,000 times, that ship will arrive at its given destination. Now, let's take another ship, just like the first, only let's not put a crew or captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal or destination. We just start the engines and let them go. I think you'll agree with me that even if it gets out of the harbor at all, it will either sink or wind up on some deserted beach, a derelict. It can't go anyplace because it has no destination, no guidance, and it's the same with a human being, you and I. Now listen carefully. The universe will align us perfectly with the abilities and the people and resources needed to fulfill our wildest dreams. Now close your eyes for a moment. I want you to allow images and thoughts into your mind of things that you really want. Don't let the thought of cost or any other hindrances enter your mind. They're really of no importance in this exercise. Only think about the things you want. Think lifestyle and possibly charities that you want to give to, or even the type of person or character type that you would like to be. What type of relationships would you want or desire? What have you been working hard to achieve that you'd like to see come to fruition? Imagine what type of car you'd like. Imagine the color, the smell, and what it feels like to drive. Use all your senses and all your imagination to see what you really want in life. Now, add emotional value to what you want with all of your senses. The human brain is capable of so much. There is even a formula that helps you to achieve your heart's desires. Visualization plus emotion plus repetition of both equals the desired transformation. Consider this and remember that whatever we link pleasure or pain to, whatever we become emotionally involved with, will shape our destinies and give us the drive and ability to do the things that we do. Now, I'd like you to take a moment to consider all of this and then take out a pen and paper or go to your computer and record what came to your mind. Write them down in the present tense, as if it is happening now. Use the words I am and I have wherever possible. This gives you ownership. Make sure you involve emotion in your statements. For example, I am very happy and content as I'm cruising down the road in my brand new black BMW with tan leather interior. I can hear the power of the engine and smell the ocean breeze. My beautiful wife whom I love in the passenger seat. Now please pause the video now and write down or record what comes to mind. Okay, we're back. Now, take this process one step further. As you become clearer on what you want, find images of these things in a magazine or royalty-free images on the internet. Cut or print them out and then paste them onto a construction paper to create a vision board. If you're comfortable online, go to animoto.com and create a mind movie where you can also add some of your favorite music. Then, the trick is to review your vision board or mind movie daily, because remember, visualization plus emotion plus repetition of both equals the desired transformation. Should you have trouble with this, pick up a copy of Joyce Schwartz's book entitled The Vision Board, The Secret to an Extraordinary Life. Now, I don't make a commission on her book sales. I just think that this book will help you out immensely. If it's a mind movie that you choose to create, then I'd like to show you an example of one that I built, and there's a few key elements that I've added to this as far as affirmations that I want you to watch out for, and then try to incorporate into your own mind movie. What I want you to pick up on is the fact that I have affirmations for all parts of my life. For example, financial, health, spiritual, relational, and physical. Physical as in, what house do I want? What kind of car will I drive? And also, my state of emotional well-being. So, let's take a look. Alright, now for a true story to demonstrate that this concept of visualization works. One of the most famous Hollywood visualization anecdotes is about comedian Jim Carrey and the $10 million check that he wrote himself long ago. It was 1987, and the then 25-year-old Canadian comic was struggling his way into show business. One night he drove his Toyota up to the top of Mulholland Drive in the Hollywood Hills and looked out on the glitter of the lights of Los Angeles. Dreaming about his future wasn't enough. He really wanted to see it. So he pulled out his checkbook and wrote himself a check for $10 million. He dated the check for Thanksgiving 1995 and added the notation for acting services rendered. Note how specific he was in this visualization. He wrote $10 million, not just tons of money. It was time sensitive, Thanksgiving 1995, and he spelled out his what by adding very clearly in the notation for acting services rendered. The how wasn't his problem. The story stands out because Jim Carrey's expression of what some would have called brazen optimism turned out not only to become true, but to be conservative. By 1995, Carrey had acted in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, which had yielded worldwide grosses of $550 million. He carried that check around with him for years. On the Oprah Winfrey Show, he explained it all by saying, "I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and dated it Thanksgiving 1995. I put it in my wallet and it deteriorated. And then, just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out I was going to make $10 million for Dumb and Dumber. I put that check into the casket with my father because that was our dream together. What an incredible true story by one of my favorite actors. Well, go ahead after this video and complete a mind movie or vision board. I have both and they work incredibly well. I invite you to visualize and experience the power of manifestation for yourself, for what you want in your life. In the next video, the third and final in this series, I have a very special, talented, and beautiful guest coming in to join me as we talk about a very special project that I have put together that will really help you on your path to comfort, success, and happiness in your life, called Find Your Place by Following Your Passions. Thoughts for today's happiness and success for a lifetime. Until then, I'm going to go back and create your next movie, video 3 in this series. And please remember, live with compassion, give generously, and seize life's opportunities. And we'll talk to you really soon.